Hey, short to court here. I'm gonna show y'all my Livescope install for a customer. This is the way I do it. This is the way I've been taught to do it. This is the way that some friends of mine that are real educated on this have told me to do it. So this is the way I've been doing it forever. Haven't had a problem. So y'all check this out. All right, we're going to be installing a Garmin EchoMap Ultra 126SV with a transducer. I believe this is. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Not really worried about that transducer because we have this one, the LVS 34 Panoptix Livescope Plus system. That is what we're going to be installing. The reason why we went with this unit is because they come out with an Ultra 2, which is around $3,000, $2,800, something like that. These units are on sale. You can get these for $1,500 at Bass Pro. Shields. This is an awesome unit. Awesome unit for $1,500. A 12-inch screen. You can't beat that. It's really good. It's really good. Next, the mount that we're going to use on this one, we're going to use a Millennium Marine, a monitor mount. So this is a telescoping mount that you can actually expand, collapse, turn, all that. This is just good for crappie fishermen that are sitting that wants to raise the screen up a little bit. We have a Lifetime 12 volt 50 amp lithium battery. You will see that in just a little bit. Got a 20 amp charger that matches that. These are pretty good batteries. These are Amazon brand batteries. I personally use the Ionic 50 amp 12 volt lithiums. They're around $350, 11-year warranty. These are around $179, so it's half the price. Have not had any issues with these cheaper batteries. I've read all the reviews. I've used a few of these. There's absolutely no issue with these. Next, just some type of battery tray. That way you can strap down. I usually get a Group 24. I guess I accidentally got a 27. It don't matter. You just need a tray that you can strap down your battery with the Velcro strap. Next, you're going to need a battery cutoff switch. Then you're going to need your own dedicated fuse panel, 10 gauge wiring. This is marine tinned copper wiring. There you go. Do not use anything but marine tinned copper in a boat. These are marine tinned copper terminals. It's kind of blurry. Certain size for certain lugs. Same thing here. And just got a couple more terminals around. So this is pretty much my setup, okay? What we're going to be doing, we're going to be installing this on a friend of mine's boat. And I'm going to go through step by step from the beginning to the end to the best of my ability. Now also, I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not a professional installation video guy. So I'm just going to try my best to go step by step to show you what I do. That way, if you're planning on installing your own, I make this as simple as possible and kind of just show you how I've done it. And if you like the way I've done it, just follow my video. And there you go. So first things first, I'm gonna get this lithium battery charger out. And I'm gonna go ahead and charge this lithium battery. Just go ahead and have it ready, have it fully charged. That way, when we put it in the boat, we can turn it on, we can test everything. All right, I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible. Post bolts right here. Save this. You can use this in the battery tray most of the time. Most of the time you can. Probably can on that 27, but we're gonna try. Anyway, here is the battery. Aha. Lifetime. 2.8 volts, 50 amps. That is her. All right, so here is part of the charger. Notice how it's just a plug. Here's the charger. This is what's cool about it. You can leave this on your battery at all times. And when you're ready to charge it, you just bring the charger near your battery, pop these in, plug it together, and you got it charging. Wow. Black goes to negative. Red goes to positive. Okay? One more time. Black, negative. Red, positive. Don't mix that up. All right, we got the battery plugged up. Got a little fan going. And boom. So you see this light? It means it's charging. It'll be solid green whenever it is fully charged. We'll let that sit for quite a few hours overnight, and it'll be good. All right, and this is also how I secured this. The foam that comes with this battery, you can cut it, squeeze it, and then just give it something, you know, to keep the battery tight fit in there. You got the strap that comes with this battery tray, and look, it is stuck. It ain't going nowhere, and that just gives it some type of cushion. I mean, it's free material. I mean, use it instead of throwing it away. So that way your battery won't be moving around in the tray. And for the love that is all holy, do not drill this straight down into the airboat in your rod box. You have to be careful. I've seen so many people screw all the way through their boat and the screws pop out the bottom. Do not do that. All right, next I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this mounting device, this Millennium Marine. Got all my parts laid out. Most men don't read the directions, but they come with directions. Read them. Some of these bolts are shorter. You got to use certain ones in certain spots. That way the teeth actually line up perfectly. So just read the directions if you're using this mount. It's super simple. I'm not going to go step by step by this, okay? Millennium mount is complete. All right, so I've got something pre-rigged because I've done this so many times. All right, I got my marine tinned copper terminals. Got them heat shrunk. Red goes to a switch. Turn it on and off. The ground bypasses to your fuse block. Positive, negative. That way the graft and the black box for the Livescope will be connected, one here and one here. Alright, next I went on and installed the cradle and the gimbal on the mount. That way that is ready. Alright, in this boat that I'm installing this in, this is kind of a small compartment. Here's the black box to the Livescope right here. Mount it to the side wall. That's what I always do. More towards the front, because the Ethernet cable, the network cable that comes with this, is only like 6 foot long. So it needs to be able to run to here, to the front of the boat where we're going to put the Livescope. I actually bought an extension because I ran my black box all the way back against here on my Nitro. But for this one, this is going to work. We got plenty of sidewall to work with. I'm going to mount that here. I'm going to mount the fuse panel here and the cutoff switch here, and then the battery is going to sit right here. All right, mounted. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and install this pre-made harness, and then we will put the battery in. That is fully charged over there. All right, now that I got it laid out, I'm actually not going to mount this one to the wall yet. I'm going to wait and leave it to where I can run the wires from the front down through the box, connect it to this, and then we'll mount it. But I can go ahead and mount the cutoff switch, and then we'll put the battery right here. Got the battery sat in there. Boom. Now we're here, okay? So this takes a 7.5 amp fuse for the black box Livescope. Got a 5 amp here. If you can find a 7.5, stick it in there. This is a regular size fuse. That's a mini fuse. I think they only make them in 5. 5 should suffice. So we're going to put the positive, which is the red, right here. And we're going to put the negative on the negative bar right there. So that way that channel will be just for the Livescope. So I'm going to go ahead and hook these up. That way I can hook it to there. And also, guys, look, it's got an inline fuse already. People are going to ask, well, what's the use in having a fuse block? Look, you can cut that inline fuse off and then just use that as a fuse. You only need one fuse, okay? But it's not going to hurt anything, okay? You'll just have double protection, okay? So I just don't feel like cutting off that 7.5 inline. I'm just going to leave it, and we're going to use that because that will let us know that if there is a problem or the current is interrupted, a red light will come on. So I usually cut the inline off, but for today I'm not, because it looks pretty good like that. So I've got everything laid out. What we're gonna do, we're gonna do this mount next. Okay, we're gonna mount this. Here is all of the Livescope transducer, the LVS34, everything needed for the Livescope. Here's the Ethernet cords, okay? This one is gonna plug into the back of the unit right here. And that is Ethernet that we're gonna run through the decking to the Livescope black box. Also, here's the power cord to this unit, and we are going to wire this to that fuse panel. All right. Let's go grab this and mount this real quick. All right, now that we got this cradle and mount installed, we've got 4 1/4" number 20 bolts on here. That way it's solid. It ain't going nowhere. We're gonna go ahead and run the wiring for the unit. We'll go ahead and run it to the power source, and we're gonna get the transducers installed. Put these ends on the power cable. Professional. All right. So we got to make a hole in the deck. That way we can run our transducer and some of our wiring down to the box. If you have clamshells, these are awesome. You can also get them at TH Marine. Little small clamshells. You can use something like that, or even a square one like this. So we're going to put a hole about that big here. That way we can run everything through here, and then we can hide it with the clamshell. All right. So let's test and see if the LVS 34 plug will fit through this hole. Perfect. All right, so now that we've got the network cable, here's the network adapter, and then here's your actual network cable. This cable is going to go through that hole and go to the black box. Put it in right, pops in, twist to the right. That goes in the back of the cradle. And this is going to run through here, down into the boat. All right, now that we got the network cable ran, we're going to run it right into this black box right here. See that little spot that says network? Boop. Little blue. I'm gonna hook it up right there. Now the power to the graph is gonna go right here where it's red. Let me see if I can see it here. There it goes. And then the other end is gonna run through the boat to the fuse panel. All right, now that we got the power from the graph, we're gonna run it to our fuse panel. Red positive is gonna go right here. Black negative is gonna go on the negative bus bar on top. And then we can mount this to the wall. All right, I got both transducers set up and ready. Right there. Got the Livescope with the perspective mount. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna go put them on real quick. So here is the transducer. The round nose on this transducer is gonna go toward the skeg, which is the front. Okay, so round toward the front. All right. Instead of using zip ties that can actually cut into your cables and actually possibly cause connection issues, I use a lot of electrical tape. And look, you can make electrical tape look neat. So we're gonna do perspective mount. This, with the point that's on top, it actually show on the back side up. So this side goes up. What you're gonna do is you're gonna mount this pointing where the cone is going. So straight out forward, okay? And you're going to use the provided rubber and 4 Allen head bolts. So let's mount that. Also, when you're mounting this Livescope, make sure it's at least 8 inches above the head of your troller motor. That way, if it slides or bends, there's no interference from the troller motor head, but also the prop won't hit your Livescope transducer. All right, now that we got this on, we are actually going to put this Livescope transducer on. So we got this little knob. We're gonna line it up. Gonna twist it on, and look, after we get this trolling motor down, we can readjust and get it straight. This is just to put it on right now, and then we can do our final tuning after we get it all installed and everything taped up. Now that we have this on, make sure you leave a little loop right here before you tape it. I say a loop about like that. And the reason why I say that is if you ever want to change it into down mode or perspective mode, you have enough slack in your cable to be able to do that. So make sure you don't just tape it down, because you ain't gonna be able to move your transducer. Give it a little bit of slack and then tape it. That way you can change your modes. All right, so now that we're right here at the knuckle, that twist on this trolling motor shaft, you want to make sure you leave a loop too. So this is us testing it. I'm gonna turn the head all the way around. It's kind of hard at this angle. It's enough slack that it'll turn. It's enough slack where it can go that way and not get bound up. All right, so these are ferrite beads that come with the Garmin units. You can get a little zip tie and zip tie right here. That way it don't slide up and down, but get it as close to the connector as you can. That's the 12-pin transducer, and that is the network cable. That's supposedly supposed to help interference. You can put one on this side and then one on the other side where it connects to. And all they do is snap together and zip tie. All right, so now we got the Livescope transducer ran through the front, back to the rod box. We're gonna connect this to the black box right here where it says XDCR. Make sure you line up that pin dot. All right, so now's the moment of truth. After we've hooked up everything, let's test everything, make sure it works. We got the right voltage and everything. So let's hook these to the lithium battery finally. All right, you may not be able to see, but we got 13.5 volts up here at the unit. So that is good to go. Everything's working. All right, install complete. You can pop these units off by a little clip on the cradle. So, and that's for security. And there's the charger. So that's pretty much it. So if you got any questions, put them in the comments. It is really hot out here, but we got it working. So if you made it through my video, I appreciate it. Hope you like and subscribe to the channel. I need to post more content, but I just stay really busy. So there it is. I hope he enjoys it. So if y'all got any suggestions, anything that y'all do different, just comment. There's going to be thousands of people, I'm sure, that's going to read all this, and you know, just trying to help somebody out. All right.